parents will be able to tell about her birth.
One of the many subdivisions just swallowed by water today in Franklin in Williamson County. These pictures taken shortly before the sun set from Air 4.
Franklin has asked people to stay in their homes dusk to dawn, and that's been one of the concerns. Also, kids playing down there in the water, so they came out some time ago, several hours ago, to ask them not to play because it's very deceptive, this water. It can be swift, it can be deep, deeper than you expect, and you can get in danger, which we've seen today. Again, 5 fatalities reported from the Office of Emergency Management.
In Davidson County alone.
In Davidson County alone, and down in Franklin. At this point, we don't have a number. I don't think we have a fatality there, but we'll check to make sure. And then they've asked people to be conservative about utilizing their water. Again, some areas where they're not affected, and some, like right across the street, those people not affected, and then inundation for numerous houses. And of course, there's so much construction that's gone up in Franklin in recent years that for a lot of these people, I would imagine it's the first time they've experienced flooding.
You might be wondering, where are these people tonight? Well, those who chose to leave their homes are most likely in safe shelter, either with family and friends or in the many shelters set up in each county. There are some diehards that will not leave their property, and particularly in Bellevue tonight, we have some people sort of waiting it out and waiting for daybreak to figure out how they're going to cope with the water that will no doubt be standing in their houses for a couple days.
Yeah.
So, you know, who knows what you would want to do in this sort of situation. We're being tested, and everyone's being tested here in terms of their limits, and some folks just choose not to leave their home. But shelter and safe shelter is available tonight. In fact, some of those shelters are actually full up and turning people away, and they're opening others.
Yeah, we've seen that. And then you imagine the people that do stay in their homes, in some cases they may have pets, and very few of the shelters are accepting pets, and those that are can be full. You've got people who are in their homes, maybe they don't feel like they're in danger, and if they don't feel like they're in danger, they may want to stay with their home and not go through the dance of leaving and coming back, but stay there and deal with the reality that's been imposed upon them.
I can't even count how many reports Deanna Lambert has filed with us today, and she's about to file another one. You're out in Bellevue?
Indeed, Dimitri, it has been a long day, but certainly we've seen a lot all over the area. And now here at Coley Davis, rescue efforts here started earlier this afternoon. Now this evening, those efforts have been suspended for the night, but you can see there at the street light over at the water here, about 200 feet away, you can see the water, how far back it goes. There's actually about 5 or 6 subdivisions back that area. You can also take a look at the street sign over there. Since we have been here in the past few hours, you can actually see the watermark level on that street sign that's actually gone down a little bit. So that's good news for people who chose to ride it out inside their homes there. Now the Nashville Fire Department, many firefighters went out into that water earlier today in boats trying to rescue people. Some people, like you were saying, Dimitri, just didn't want to leave their homes. They wanted to ride it out, and then they realized later that once the water was up to, you know, their chest, that they needed to go. So they were bringing out people in boats a while ago. You heard Kara Kamari's reports out here earlier. They were bringing out dogs and animals, all different kinds of things from there. Now the Lakeshore, the Meadows nursing home, the retirement center back here, they actually have not evacuated. We are being told that they are fine. They have generators, water, electricity. All those residents are fine. If you have loved ones there and you're trying to call, the phone lines might be busy, so that might be why you aren't reaching them. But certainly the advice we also heard here today from some rescue crews that if perhaps tomorrow flooding is an issue and you are in a neighborhood, it confuses apparently the rescue crews if you're watching, if you're a spectator. So if you don't need help, they're asking that you do stay inside your home. But certainly here tomorrow, if there's any need for any more rescues, the National Fire Department said that they would be out here tomorrow if the need arises. Reporting live from Bellevue, Deanna Lambert, Channel 4 News.
Deanna, thank you. Let's go to Alan Frio. We should also add that Southwest Airlines decided to just stop all flights in and out of Nashville at 3 this afternoon. We don't know yet what's going to happen tomorrow. The best advice is call your carrier or check the website.
And if I, just very quickly, the Old Hickory Community Center, which we did mention had opened for folks to go to, still needs supplies. They need bottled water and things like that. So if anyone can help in that endeavor, that would be great. Alan Frio is in our newsroom. Alan.
Okay, there's a number of things going on in Hickman County. You may remember Hickman County really got walloped yesterday in the first round of the storms that we received, and they're still feeling the effects 24 hours later. There is a big sinkhole in the road. Look at that. We don't know what road this is, but that is a massive sinkhole, and you can see how big it is just by these three people who are peering down that the big major sinkhole. And many people in many parts of Hickman County have no water or no power. In fact, we received an email from one resident there, said in the town of Centerville, the main town is cut off because the water has gone up over the bridge and no one can get in or out. And they go on to say, I'm just quoting them, a bunch of stores have run out of water, a gas station has run out of gas, and most back roads, and I would presume the picture that we saw earlier, that sinkhole, is a back road, and most back roads are shut down. Roads have been washed up, and it's a pretty bad situation in Hickman County. They're getting it really bad. And I just confirmed this story with somebody at the front desk at the Wyndham Nashville Hotel. They're at 2415 McGavick Pike. And we understand that the main building at the Wyndham Hotel is taking in water, and guests, it's a 4-story building. They have a number of buildings, 4 stories, but this is the main building. But guests are being asked to go to higher ground, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th story. So anybody on the 1st floor is being asked to move up. So they have 17 buildings with 392 units. They're taking on water. The phone system is barely working, and their computers are getting waterlogged as well. All Internal Revenue Service offices in the Nashville area will close tomorrow, Monday, May 3rd, due to the widespread flooding emergency. The Hermitage will be closed as well, and that's pretty much the situation. We heard about a couple of hotels getting waterlogged. They said at the Wyndham Hotel, they're literally an island there. No one could get in, could get out. The number of guests are doing the best they can, and the hotel is doing the best they can, trying to keep everybody calm. And obviously the guests who are there are either visiting on convention or on business, or they're just tourists. So this is one vacation they will never forget, I'm sure. This is the Wyndham Hotel. Back to you guys.
All right, Alan. By the way, just returning to the question as far as state employees is concerned, the guidance here is that all state employees who would normally report to work should do so tomorrow. An exception to that is in the case employees who work in the Andrew Jackson building in downtown Nashville should not report to work on Monday unless their appointing authority specifically requests them to work, as that building has been declared uninhabitable. Also, state employees who work in county offices which have been closed by local government will not report to work tomorrow.
And earlier, Mayor Dean said, of course, don't take any chances. He'd prefer that people that don't have to go out to work don't even try tomorrow. Jeremy Finley's been watching the flooding at Mill Creek and other places in Antioch all afternoon, where we've seen some dramatic pictures.
Yeah, you know, and we've been listening, Dimitri. Actually, it's interesting. There are people that are trying to get through here that I guess don't realize the water that's on this road, and we've been listening to the police officer, and he gets on his megaphone and he says, "Stop, stop, what are you doing? What are you thinking?" Because obviously, you know, why would you attempt to even cross this water? So he's positioned there to keep that from people from getting across where Mill Creek is spilled over onto Antioch. But, you know, talking about those dramatic pictures, you know, one of the things I think that will just stick in our minds about the flooding in this area are those cars piled up on top of each other. You were right, that was a car dealership. And they were all lined up, just as all car dealerships are. And then, of course, when we saw them, they're piled on top of each other. I mean, the forces of the water were so strong that they just piled those cars one on top of the other. And then, of course, right across from that car dealership, there was a church, and the water literally just blew through one door, run through one wall, rather, right back into the other. And of course, then we also saw that the trailers in this area that were just, sunk in the water. But I think it's those images of those cars that, really just kind of stay with you. And speaking with the councilman for this district just a short while ago, and he was just amazed, kind of in awe is what he said, that the water would have that much power to lift those cars one on top of the other. And then we also saw one part where there was a house ripped off its foundation, brought right down and smashed into the trailer that was part of that car dealership. And so it's, to make matters worse, it's all smashed up there together. So, this creek has always tended to flood, has always caused problems. The councilman who's lived in this district